exploring the forgotten, uncovering the hidden, and revealing history as it was meant to be told.
Welcome back to Liberty Park. It's nice and warm today, actually. Just wanted to take a moment to talk about the erosion and the knocked over poles over here. And the destroyed signs behind me. And I wanted to talk about how maybe we're looking at this wrong. People see the sign and they say it's a broken sign. I say it's a symptom in need of a cure. I say the erosion. You know, you see the canals, they cut through because the divine doesn't cut through. That's what fire does. Let's get into it. Again, something small to some people. It actually illuminates in the dark right here. But despite the tree being wounded, it continues to live, and it will into the next season. Let's get deep into this thing. And again, symptoms. You can hear the birds. Beautiful sage blue. The leaves as they begin to fall, because the new season is just around. Wow. Now, that is a meaty paw. You know that there is nature when you see their footprints. It's a deer. It's being tracked. It's being tracked by coyotes or wolves. We're following it right up this arroyo. The yucca. The beautiful lime green. And then the junipers with their beautiful, beautiful blueberries, which apparently, if you smash them down, it makes more of a brownish red color. So for pigments, you would not be able to get blue, and we know in nature that blue is pretty rare. It's beauty of anticipation. I can't wait to see new things. I look over at the giant stones, river rocks, and they cover the area. This whole place was underground. And then I look at the human wounds that we've caused. If you even look up closer up there, we've cut the mountain in half. As I discussed, only fire goes through straight. The real path is like that of Quetzalcoatl or Vanya. It zigzags, just like the water. It doesn't carve out one single direction. It spills off into different ways. Just like life. And as I stand on this incline, I see much exposed rocks from times of the early earth. And even those rocks couldn't withstand the machinery of man. Half these rocks are split in half. It's like my last name. It means split rock. But not like this. Here's an example of what I'm talking about. And this rock isn't the same as the split rock in my name. In the Bible, Moses, he talked about slamming down his staff and creating water from the holy fracturing of the stone. That was not a holy fracturing. Just like this. Look at this. Oh my gosh. If I can flip over a little bit. Let's look at this. Just chopped right in half. This is the real life. This is the life we were meant to live. This is what we've been missing inside of our concrete boxes and hidden by drywall, covered up by paint. Not the stone covered in stucco, not the struggle of the journey, the struggle of daily life, the struggle of pushing yourself to that limit. It's different. You see the truss line coming up. My goal is to make it to that mesa I saw last time. And if all my power willing, I'll make it. I am shedding layers faster than somebody who's going into hypothermia. It is hot. My backpack is swollen, not because of the supplies, but because of the clothing. It's absurd. But there's the Rocky Mountains. We sit at a pinnacle between 4 states, and we get the benefit of all of it. We also get the negatives, because that's what happens. The way the mountains are made, everything just circles back, but you can see the mesa. This is the mesa we're aiming for over here. Maybe over here we'll stop, who knows? I haven't gotten that far, but when we do, we gotta go down, back up. You guys have seen the last video that came out. Literally, it comes out today as I'm recording, but also get on there and show our boy Lenny some love. Just made the Wat Suth Ot video from Bangkok, and he explored the massive Buddha and the monastery, and he even got to see the monks chanting and seeing the pinnacle of the holiness in his own community. And not just that, but the pillars are decorated with the art that you would only see in the Louvre, but it's all over the walls. It's painted on the walls. I mean, these structures were meant to stay. Just like when I plant my stone, it will not be moved. All the glorious nature, all the fun I could have down there. And I could be hunting, but I would be the opposite of what I want. I don't want to harm the nature. I want to preserve it. And like I said, you can see the arroyos. They curve like the snake, like Avanyu, like Quetzalcoatl, like Kukulkan, because the Holy Spirit moves like a river. Only fire cuts straight. Bro, I'm just gonna say, around that corner, camera does not do justice to the incline. The incline was steeper than this decline, so we're past the turning point. We are past any point we've gone past, and I am amped up. Dude, the geology of this area is insane. If you just look at the gorgeous, beautiful, millions of years polished stones. Like, look at this one. Wow. I believe that's jasper. I believe most of it's jasper, actually. It's amazing to see out here. I believe that's petrified wood somebody set aside. It's amazing. I love, and I think everyone should love. Hold on. Let's see if we hear. Where is it? Maybe if we get closer. There's a big board over here. A little bit of garbage, that makes me sad. I don't hear it anymore. It's a birdie. Yeah, it's no good, man. See more of it. This land needs healed. Bro, I can see the first one that I was pointing out. That's amazing. The second one's a little bit further, but I can already see the first outcrop. Can't tell if it's somebody up there or not. I guess we'll find out. I love looking at the different types of nature, because you look at this and it's not a leaf, but it still absorbs the chlorophyll just as well. You can see a little pine cone up top. It's still alive, it's still bright green even in the winter, because it can regulate the temperature. It can regulate how much water it loses and how much it gains. So the root systems they usually come out about a little bit further past the tree lines. And these trees they're almost sacred in this area because of how many they are and how rare other trees are. These trees are native to the area, clearly. Main focus was this here because it was so visible from far away. But then I looked to the right, or I'm sorry, the left, and we gotta check this out. Look at this. What a sight to behold. This has been here for nobody knows how long. I mean, it's a ginormous rock on top of a steep mound, and you can see here the erosion on this one is insane. Like it's got to be sandstone, because clearly it's coming apart from water erosion. Let's take a look up here. This is incredible. Oh, what we got going on, my friends. We'll see if I live to tell another tale. Peeking the hides. See anything special? What's it off on the right? Got a nest up in the top. And that's the next target goal. Woo! A little lightheaded. Gorgeous, man. I can't believe that these stones are enormous. And they've been here forever. And only now, since the soil's eroded, you can see more over here, are they starting to crumble. So probably underground for a very long time, surfaced, and then geology does its thing. I'm not a geologist. Stop commenting, I am. I just like rocks. Crazy, you can still see Angel Peak back here, but then we flip around. I mean, I'm far out here, but I can still walk to the city pretty easily. Look at these holes. It's crazy. The face of the sandstone's literally right there, and we're just going to the high ground because the looks from the top are always much more impressive than down below. And we can always backtrack or go downhill. It's harder to get up the hill. It's weird. It must be one of the poles that I saw off in the distance. It looked like a man standing up here. Whoa. Holy cow. It's got an oil field road cutting right through. This is quite amazing. Man, gorgeous sight. So I stand out over my city and I look out at the beautiful Rockies and even Angel Peak from here. I look at the sandstone and the split crags. And this is New Mexico trust land. I'm not even here to hunt, but you need a hunting license to be here. I'm not armed. But if it's trust land, then who are we to trust with the land if it's giving way? If it's going to affect our watershed abilities? There cannot be the shame of that happening. It's too beautiful. It's too important. So we're going to descend up down here, and then we're going to ascend to the opposite side over here. See if we got any surprises. The desert always has surprises. Always. Okay, you can even see the front of the outcrop from here. That's nice. Yeah, so you see where I'm walking at. This is not great. But look at that. Just coming undone. You can see tire tracks. There's a hide. Little teeny hides. Like a snake. Look at this. It's gorgeous. The split rock. Now we're on some kind of shady oil field road in the back. And it's weird. That stone looks like it was stood up, but probably not. Maybe. You can see tracks through here. I mean, you know, the oil field workers, whenever it gets muddy, they just come right through anyways. Because job's got to get done. San Juan County's got to feed the state. That's how we say it around here. Look at this. What is this? Should I find a walking stick? Just kidding. I don't want termites. Look at this area. I've never been out here. There's a gas line over that direction. You can see these roots. They go everywhere. Actually, these roots must go out much further than regular trees because I always see them crossing over roads and under roads, and the nature The nature of nature is that it does what it wants. Unfortunately, more obvious signs of a damaged and wounded land. Something that it would take barely anything to fix. But it's very easy to do this to the land. Is that a jacket? Somebody must have gotten hot. And there's the gas lines. Got another oil field road crossing through, but it's not like the one I'm on. This is like an access one. Access path. And unfortunately, like I always talk about the methane cloud, 2,000 miles over the San Juan area. Just sitting there because these things, some of the older methane ones have not been capped off. So we're gonna go up this direction and see what's on these hills. Someone tell me what animal made this, because it doesn't look like a horse to me. The foot, actually it's gotta be some sort of like elk or deer, because there's multiple and the foot paces aren't very far. So a horse would be strutting through here and I think you'd see a horseshoe, but it's a clear-sighted one. Interesting. This kind of reminds me of the Bisty Badlands in a way. The way that the hills are structured. At Bisty, you can come across a corner and find caves and crazy stuff, man. It's just insane to, whenever you actually start investigating how the world is, instead of staying inside of our boxes that we call home. This is home. If it was, as long as we just look past we look at the healing of the land. Holy cow, we're gonna double back over this area. This is interesting. Or you could compare this one to the Cookie Crumble site over by the down part of Liberty Park. Oh, bro. Oh, bro. Oh, bro. Oh, no. Hold up. I gotta. Dang. That was I don't know if I showed that on camera or not. Got some red pigment over here. That's a dead goat or something. That is a dead goat. Oh, gosh. There's no more pure reminder. And it wasn't killed by one of those, I'll tell you. That was in a bag. That is nasty. And I thought it was a toy at first. I've seen worse, but that was pretty nasty. Didn't expect it at all. And that's part of the mystery on these things. Is you always come across these things. And I think we're gonna check out these mounds here. The soil here is so shaky. It's like, it looks like there was a sign here at one point, maybe. Signpost. Dang, that's crazy. Give you a shot of adrenaline. Whew. I was like, let's get closer. Who left their doll out here? No, that's not a doll. That is an animal. In a bag. Like a Glad bag. Well, I guess not a Glad bag. It's vile. It's vile. Dispose of it how you shall. Don't do that. Look at this. I don't even know what this is. It's so insane. And it just keeps going. I'm trying to avoid that area on the way back. But these inclines are crazy. These are like ATV, dirt bike, maybe here and a 4x4. So I'm gonna go up the side. And again, the dirt is squishy. Squishy. Holy cow. What are we to find? Look at that. That's the ultimate goal someday. Not today, but someday. I reckon I could take that oil field road directly down that desert. Let's see if there's anything up over here. This is the glory of the struggle. There's always a come down afterwards because there's nothing like it. Pushing yourself because you can. Not staying inside your stucco box. So tonight you'll have a podcast, but maybe, I don't know, we'll see, because today's a different day than the day this comes out. However, you will see the land on this episode of Revisiting History, North Liberty Park. You will see the slow decay by people and this fracturing of stone by water and by people. You'll see the medicine exists, but it hasn't been applied. We can cure this land of the monstrous things that inhibit it. That's why I cover the stories like Officer Ontiveros, and I won't even say his name, but the Farmington case. He doesn't deserve it. I'm gonna stop real quick and show you what I mean. That bag up there, I thought was a stuffed animal. It's not. That was a living, breathing creature. And somebody decided that it wasn't worth the burial. They'll take it out into the back lands of the oil field area in North Liberty Park and just dump a carcass. The way that, and I eat meat. I am somebody who's been cultured to eat meat. I don't eat pork because it's filthy. Not because of culture, but because it's gross. I try not to eat beef. I know goat is a delicacy. Sheep is a delicacy. Especially sheep is a delicacy where I'm from. I believe that was a goat. And to see somebody just dump it so carelessly, it reminds me, in a way, of some of the cases where that's not far from somebody taking care of business and then dumping the remnants of their crimes out on this land, this sacred, holy land. And this is the land of the Pueblos, the ancestral Puebloan people, the Chaco culture, as we call them. You know, the Picaris Pueblo, the Santa Clara Pueblo, and all up and down the river. We're stewards of this land, and this is trust land, but I just found the unthinkable on a land that we trust. It wasn't from hunting. It wasn't from natural causes. Or even if it was, dumped in a sack. Recently. It's kind of horror that real life brings, and a lot of people like to live inside their, like I said, their boxes. It's nice and safe, it's protective. Well, they don't realize that the city's burning outside, that the methane's 2,000 miles from here to Colorado to Utah to Nevada. And what can you do about it? Well, you can stop it before it starts. Walked for miles. We got about up to there, a little bit left. That's the steep incline that I went off to. And that's where I found the animal. Again, gas pipelines, Angel Peak. You can still see the city from here, unfortunately. Not unfortunately, I love the city. I just don't love the fact that I can't fully escape it. Because at some point, oh gosh, it's like a Moana moment. It calls me. And sometimes it's the trees. But the Romans conquered my people, forced us into submission, into the Roman way, from being Gallic tribes into being speakers of Latin. And after that, history's told because the Romans conquered everything. I mean, you could say later on the Spaniards, but again, Hispania, that's Roman history. Now it's the desert that calls me. I like to walk to feel the strain, to make sure that I'm still alive, to get that pulse racing because I can. And until those days I can't see, I will keep bringing you this stuff right up close. And hopefully beyond then even. We'll see. Thank you guys so much. Make sure to hit all the buttons. Follow us on Rumble. I'm not going to rant too much about subbing and what. No, I'm not going to cater to a typical YouTuber, whoever begs and pleads on their knees for more. I'm thankful for what I have. Thank you for revisiting history. And don't forget, you can make a change in your world. We will make a change together. My, I was just speaking of erosion. And I wonder how heavy these things are. They gotta be hundreds of pounds. And yeah, probably about hundreds of pounds. And they just tumbled from the top. 1, 2, 3, 4. Right off. And you can see a couple more. That one. They're just waiting for the water. Just like we're all waiting. So behind me, you can see the sandstone. Behind me, you can see the further distance that we traveled. And for over an hour, things were beautiful. Things were perfect. They were great. Bright. You look at the sand, it's bright white. And then I come to my final location. And I see a discarded body of an animal, young, freshly dropped behind a hill off the oilfield trust land off North Liberty Park. And at first I was tricked. I thought stuffed animal. Why would somebody leave a stuffed animal in a bag out here? Well, I started to circle around and I realized what it was. It was an actual animal, young, not decomposed, and sitting in the open with its head sticking out of a bag. And then it reminded me of the desert. It's not all flowers and sunshine. I think I found my mission. I think I found our mission. I came out here for the beauty of the Rockies and the soil. And I uncovered. Then I uncovered something darker. And it was my last stop. My last stop of the journey. This happens. And you think to yourself, how does that happen? My last spot. The last place I lay my feet today before I leave. And I come across that as I'm talking about the land needing healed, being wounded, and I find I have to cut it out, but you'll see my reaction. It could have been anything. It could have been something worse that I stumbled upon out here. And I said I wasn't armed today. That's a fact. Not a fact I'm very proud about at the moment, but I wish to do no harm. But what about those who wish to do us harm? Those that will willingly take a dead or dying animal, maybe a ritual, and then drop the animal off into the distance, off into the desert to rot and decompose. So that way, maybe the veterinarian doesn't have to take care of it, or maybe There was a ritual performed. And I'm not saying there was any evidence of any of these things, but that was not normal. And the timing was awfully weird. I'll say that. It definitely makes you feel some type of way when you're on a beautiful hike and you're looking at just the beautiful mountains and the hills, the rolling hills and the yucca plants. And then, boom, in your face, death. It's everywhere. This county needs healing.